Hi, this is John, and welcome to another edition of Cozy, Charming, Crazy Real Estate. Today we're going to talk about three very popular real estate statistics that are totally worthless if you're buying or selling. The first statistic we're going to look at is price per square foot, and there are four reasons why price per square foot is not a usable real estate statistic. It's often used to compare two pieces of property, but here's why it is very ineffective at doing that. First, price per square foot is determined by taking the price or estimated value of a property and dividing it by the number of square feet or usable living space in the house. So it totally ignores the value of the land. Second thing that it does that makes it worthless is it doesn't give us any indication of the value or quality of the improvements that are in there. Has it been recently remodeled? Do they have carpet or very nice hardwoods? All those types of design issues have no influence on that price per square foot. Other thing is it does about square footage and how it's used is the allocation of space. The square footage may be spread among all the rooms very evenly. The living room might be very large, but all the bedrooms are very tiny, especially if you're in California. And the last thing, the fourth reason why this is a statistic that we just don't need to use, is it does not take into account the value of the land in terms of, is it rolling hills where a lot of the land is not buildable? Is it flat and therefore is buildable and worth more? Does it have a view? Is the location of great or lesser value? Those four things are why you don't really want to use price per square foot as a comparison between two properties. The second statistic we're going to look at is listing price versus sale price. Now, when homes are selling above listing prices, that is supposed to indicate that the values are on their way up. Now, if homes are selling below their listing price, that means that demand is down, homes are selling for less. Now, there's two strategies that are very commonly used, and they totally invalidate that statistic, and I'm going to tell you what they are. First is intentionally pricing a home low. The reason that some sellers do that is they're saying, well, if I set it lower, I'm going to attract more buyers. Buyers that are looking for a deal, they recognize that that price is below market value. And people who just have, they're looking and their budget's a little bit lower, so they've set their search parameters. Let's say if they're looking online and they're setting up search limits, high value, low value, they're going to catch more of those people at that lower value. Now, why do they want to catch more people? They want to start a bidding war. The whole idea is set the price low. When people come in and start bidding, they bid against each other, and the goal is to, through that competitive process, come out with a final sales price that's above market value, driven there by the competition. Now, the other strategy that goes to make this statistic basically worthless is that the seller will set their price artificially high. And there's two reasons for that. The first reason is they want to create a perception that there are features in the home that make it more valuable than any of the comparable properties around. And so they're creating a perception of higher value. The other thing that they're trying to do is pull up any buyers that are looking at it and saying, well, I know what the property value is. You are listing it above market value, and however, I can't come up to your value, but I'll come up a little bit. I'll give you something higher. And that then still comes up with a final sales price above market value. So based on the low pricing strategy or the high pricing strategy, the actual value of that property gets lost. Before we go on to our final statistic, I'm going to ask if you like this video, please like it below. If you'd like to see future videos, please subscribe. If you have a question or a comment, please enter it below. Even a suggestion perhaps for a future video, please go ahead and enter that in the comment section below. The third and final statistic we're going to talk about is average or mean number of days on market. Now, for an individual property, if we see that it's been on the market a long time, that could indicate to us that there's a problem with the property. Either the seller is asking a price that is just far too high for most buyers, or maybe there's a defect with the property. We consider that on a one-by-one basis, and it'll help us out when we're deciding whether or not, let's say, to buy it. Now, however, an average or mean computation is based on a whole population of properties, a large, hopefully large number, but that's not always true. So there's three conditions that will normally invalidate the real use of average or mean days on market. The first one is that you're going to have in there often a data point that is a sale of a $15 million home, maybe a $500,000 home, and then a bunch of $200,000 to $300,000 homes. These are not comparable properties. Therefore, we have apples and oranges all in the same basket, figuring out the average. And that $10 million home, $5 million home, the one that is far away different value than the others, skews the average far too much to make it accurate. The second reason why this is not a very usable statistic is they often will publish an average based upon a very small number of sales, maybe 3, and it could be 30 days, another one sells at 60 days, and then another one sells at 240. It would be better just to say, hey, these are the 3 that sold and this is how many days it took, rather than to even publish an average. The last reason that I believe that this is not a statistic worth using is that they often will not run the average according to the general rules that mathematicians use to come up with a reliable statistic. And for example, I would mean if we were looking at a statistical mean or a very statistical average, or sometimes you see a standard deviation from market value, all these statistics, they might take out the 2 highest data points, the 2 lowest ones, to come up with a more reliable picture of the average or the mean, and this is very seldom done in real estate. So those are our 3 real estate statistics that we recommend you avoid. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Cozy, Charming, Crazy Real Estate.